My hat! So page 7, we're going to need a few more parts. We're going to end up needing that top plate. So if you grab this parts tree, it's going to be this large one here, and it just twists off and actually comes out pretty clean. So we're going to end up using this. That's the part. And now we're going to need some screws. So you're going to need these MA4, and these MA4 are going to be in that bag. So it's these here. And you're also going to need these MA3, which are going to be in that bag. 1, 2, 3. All right, and that's for the first step. So let's go ahead and attach this. This here, this section is going to go towards you. And this is, if you notice these little 3 holes there, they're right here in the middle. That part should mount here, right in that section. So this is going to go on the bottom just like that. So flip the chassis, and it's keyed, so it'll key in. And you're using the darker screws right here, toward the center of the chassis. And use your number 2 driver. And after that, you're going to have to install the other 3 screws, which are going to go on the face, right in here. So each one of these will go in there. Just going to place it on the driver first, it'll be easier. Alright, and I'm actually just placing it in there. I'm not going to drive it all the way in, not until all of them are there. And it's very important that you use the correct driver. If not, again, you can strip the heads, and then extracting the screws is going to be a pain. It can be done, it's just a pain. Alright. There we go. So all 3 are in. I'm actually going to tighten the center one first. That's it. Do not over tighten. These are plastic components. You can strip them, damage them, and then to fix them can be very difficult. You can use some CA glue, for example, super glue, put it in there, and then once it dries, drive the screw in there. But it's not the same. All right, so step 9 is complete. We're going to move on to 10. And for this, I'm going to flip this over again. Here we go. Now I need the mounts. Now the mounts are going to depend on the body that you're going to run, but just to build this, I'm going to end up using the 5B, which just look like an L. And for that, you're going to grab the parts tree that you've removed most of the components, and you're going to have 1 on it. So one of them is on here. And the other one is going to be on the other one, right over here. Here's the other one. So it's the 2 that look like L's. There we go. So we have those 2, and they're going to mount this way. So this should be pointing toward you, the little square. And these squares should key in right in here. And they will both go like this. And then the screws, you're going to need the MA5, which are the silver screws in that bag. The easiest way to tell is these are the countersunk screws. All right, so those two countersunk screws are in. Those were those right there on step 10. So we have the body mounts. Now later on it's just two screws. If we want to switch it, put a different body, we can. But for now, we're just going to build it that way. And now at this point, you're going to need two of these gearbox joints. And they're all the same size, so just grab two. And these here, you're going to need a little bit of grease on the dog bones. You're going to need these little dog bones as well. Again, they're all the same size. And these are going to fit right in here. So I'm just going to grease this up a little. I'm going to go ahead and place it in here. And then this, notice the shape. It's keyed. It will just go in here, so place it and then turn it slowly and it should drop in, just like that. And actually, I didn't grease the other part of the dog bone, so let me grease both sides. And now that that is greased, the other side is going to go to this one over here. Now, one of the things to note is that there is a larger side and a smaller side. The larger side goes toward the bottom. So this is the bottom, that's the top. And that will go here. Now, it'll be easier if you build one arm and then the other arm. Now here, you're going to need the pin screws that go in there. You're going to need a short one for the top and a long one for the bottom. Short ones are in that bag. I'll just place them here. Long ones are in the other bag. I'll place them there. So I will do the top first. And again, do not over tighten. And part of the screw will come out, part of this pin will come out. And then you do the bottom. There we go. That's it. Now we can do the other side. So again, apply grease. And you're doing it to both ends. There we go. And remember, this is keyed right in there. So you're just going to place it in here, and then you're just going to turn it until it drops in place. So I'm just here. Let me turn it. So that's it. You spin it slowly, and then eventually it will drop. Then you grab this part. Remember, large part goes toward the bottom. Now I can go ahead and use the pins. And now the bottom pin. I actually made a mistake with this arm, so let me go ahead and fix it. I need to flip this one, the top one. At least in the previous video I gave you the right orientation. But I can still install the bottom. There we go. Because you have not screwed this in, you can actually lift this enough to where you can pull this out, slide it out, flip it, install. I'm going to do it on the top first. And then slides right in. All right, let's grab the dog bone, place it in there, and then place it in here. And now we're ready to attach the top. So it's not a big deal if you accidentally flip the arm. There we go. And there we go. All right, so this looks good. Perfect. Nothing's binding. Suspension is free. We are finished with step 10. So now we have to do step 11. For step 11, you're going to have to remove the other arms. It's these round arms. We had previously removed one. It's going to be this one here. Now we have two. And there's two on this other tree, so I'm going to go ahead and remove them. Might as well. And I'm removing these for one reason. I'm going to show you there's a difference between the arms, so be careful which ones you use. If you look at them, they look very, very similar, but these have that little portion there. So these two arms have that, these do not, and the ones that we want are the ones that do and do not. So we're going to want them all. Now you're going to need another bag, and if you look at this bag here, this is the one that has the servo horn. Just look for the bag that has the servo horn. You have these little round plastic balls. So open up the bag. And you should have 4 of them, 1 for each arm. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep this out. And don't lose these, be careful, they're plastic, so you can't use magnets. And these here should just clip on, but you need to grease them first. All right, they're greased. And the way that you clip them on is you grab them like this. So notice the orifice is right there. And then you're just going to use your thumb, and it'll clip on, and then it'll spin once it's inside. And it'll do that. So, again, you're going to grab these. You're going to stand this up, and you're going to drop it in there. And then you're going to press on. Just make sure you apply grease first. All right. There we go. All right, so we have all arms complete. So step 11 is complete. We're going to move on to page 8 on the next one. Thanks for watching.